Many Americans could soon be lining up for coronavirus booster shots. Sources tell CBS News sometime this week the Biden administration is expected to recommend a third.
Hello, today I present to you an extremely attractive application for music lovers. It's completely free. You can listen to music online or download unlimited music to use whenever you don't have internet. The powerful search function helps you find anything you want. Trust me. It's hard not to find what you're looking for because the search function is really powerful. Application download link is attached in the description of the video. I'm pretty sure you'll like it. Thanks.
Dose for most Americans. The news comes less than a week since federal health officials authorized boosters for people with compromised immune systems. Meanwhile, just over half the U.S. population is fully vaccinated, but COVID cases are continuing to climb. Weekly infections are now at levels not seen in about 8 months, and the country is averaging nearly 130,000 new cases per day. David Begnaud has more from Louisiana.
Elaine, in addition to people who receive Pfizer and Moderna being told they need a booster, we expect that the federal government is going to tell the folks who got the one dose of the J&J vaccine, you need a booster too. If the FDA gives the green light, the boosters could begin as early as next month. Healthcare workers and nursing home residents will be first in line, followed by the elderly and then the general population.
I think it's helpful if people can try to stick with what they started with. So if you started with Pfizer, get the third immunization with Pfizer and similarly with Moderna.
The case for boosters comes after new studies which include recent data from Israel. Among people 60 and older who received the Pfizer vaccine, the risk of infection was 54% higher among those vaccinated in the winter compared to the spring.
We released those vaccines when we had to get people fully immunized in a hurry, and we did it. In terms of durability and length of protection, spacing vaccines 3 to 4 weeks apart will often not be adequate for long-term durability, and hence the need for the boost.
Hospitals continue to fill up, mostly with people who are unvaccinated. Here at Baton Rouge General in Louisiana, they had one ICU, but they opened up 8 more. Just for COVID patients.
I was worried about dying and leaving her all alone.
Jeffrey Oakes and his wife Carrie are in the ICU with COVID-19 together. It's their second time contracting the virus. They thought they had natural immunity after the first time, and so they waited to get vaccinated.
The Delta variant is really, really nasty. And anyone who thinks that they can just come through this, they're wrong.
Dr. Chris Thomas is their physician.
We have 2 pandemics. We have a pandemic of a Delta virus that's ravaging our community, and we have a pandemic of misinformation. I'm just frustrated that we've gotten to the point where we allow misinformation to equal medical science. They're not the same.
You know, Louisiana set a record today. They have more COVID hospitalizations now than at any other point in the pandemic. The last time they set that record was yesterday. Today, Louisiana's governor said, we are rapidly approaching a point where we're going to have a major failure of our healthcare delivery system. Elaine.
David Begnaud, thank you. Dr. Jessica Shepard joins me now. She's the Chief Medical Officer at Verywell Health. Doctor, welcome. The Biden administration is expected to recommend the majority of Americans get a booster shot 8 months after initial vaccination. Help us understand, where did this timeline come from and what needs to happen before people can start lining up for that third shot?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, there is a question whether booster shots are needed at this point or not. But what we do know from the pathology or how viruses actually work are that booster shots are actually very important, because what they're going to do is they're going to increase that antibody cells that are going to multiply and therefore be able to fight that pathogen much more. As you can see from the report before there in Louisiana, we are having a surge of admissions into the ICU again from the Delta variant, which means that we need even more protection. Now, we know that people who are vaccinated still have the ability to get coronavirus. However, we know that their disease will be significantly less, and more of the people who are being admitted to the hospital are unvaccinated.
All right, I want to ask you more about that in a moment. But earlier this month, the head of the World Health Organization said, quote, "We cannot accept countries that have already used most of the global supply of vaccines using even more of it." Doctor, what's your take on that?
That really is a question when we think of healthcare equality and how we really get this distribution globally, because what we do know is that there is somewhat of an unequal distribution. Now, when we look at high income countries, we know that that number is much more than 50%, much more in the 60th percentile that have at least received one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Now, when you look at lower income countries, that number may be as low as 14%, even in some countries, 1%. So the real question becomes, how do we really find the equal distribution that is needed when we have a global pandemic in order for us, again, to beat this pandemic and get the care that we need in countries that are economically devastated, and making sure that we have even more people vaccinated than not?
Well, the head of the National Institutes of Health says vaccines for children ages 5 to 11 are unlikely to be available until late 2021. Meantime, the Academy of Pediatrics is urging the FDA to authorize vaccines for these children based on data from the initial trial group instead of the recently expanded one. So, Doctor, what do we know about the approval process for a pediatric vaccine?
Now, when we look at the actual approval process, mainly Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, we know that there was much more time as far as the duration of outcome given the pediatric community to make sure that that vaccine was being processed, and the side effect outcomes that we have might be different for a pediatric community, and making sure that we pay attention to that community, namely children in between the ages of 5 and 11 who are in clinical trials. Now, as you said earlier, the American Academy of Pediatrics are urging the FDA to actually authorize vaccines for kids in between 5 and 11 and decreasing that time so that we can have more vaccines available to a broader population. Now, when we think of the Delta variant, we know that there is a surge of admissions for the pediatric community in hospitals, and we're seeing much more of those throughout the country. This is where that careful urge comes from, because we really want to decrease the spread of the coronavirus, namely the Delta variant, in that community in the pediatrics. Now, even as we have schools opening and we have an increased chance of transmission.
Well, a new study published in the journal JAMA Network Open found vaccine side effects in pregnant people were similar to those in people who are not pregnant, and that the odds of some reactions actually decreased. What more can you tell us about that?
Now, this was a study that was done in a good population of individuals. And the importance of this study is that they looked at people who were not pregnant versus those who were or lactating, in order to show the difference between outcomes and also how effective it was as far as a vaccination in preventing COVID-19 illness. Now, this again is going to go what we've seen as misinformation of having pregnant women and lactating women vaccinated. There are many women who believe that this is going to harm their ability to conceive and also harm them during a pregnancy. But we know now from studies like this that show that COVID-19 vaccines are actually very well tolerated in individuals who are pregnant, lactating, or planning pregnancy. This is going to compare the vaccine reactions and the perceptions that we have seen in the public, again, looking at an actual group of people in a population where we can see that the results are favorable.
All right, important information, Dr. Jessica Shepard. Doctor, thank you.
Thank you.